I got asked a really interesting question on my post the other day about why specifically it's taken fashion so long to scale the use of their 3D assets relative to other industries like manufacturing, for instance, and specifically why apparel is taking longer than footwear accessories. I just wanted to share my thoughts briefly. So first of all, I'd actually say we found from firsthand experience that industrial manufacturing isn't that far ahead. They're creating like crazy in CAD and have been for decades, but the actual use of those assets in downstream applications is pretty low. And it's also low in a lot of collaborative applications. They're running into the same issues of file size conversion, different platforms not natively supporting 3D, but supporting lots of collaboration functionalities that fashion has also run into. And then on the issue of fashion versus or apparel versus accessories and footwear, I think one of the main culprits is that because programs like VStitcher and CLO have made it so easy to design in 3D, you don't actually need to know the same things that a 3D artist might who's gonna be creating art for games or a 3D model of a product or something like that in Blender. There's a lack of knowledge that exists and doesn't need to exist until you reach the point of now this 3D asset needs to flow downstream. And now all of a sudden you've got these assets, but you don't necessarily have the people that have the technical know-how to understand what some of those challenges are. I also think that they're being put in a position where they need to define workflows, which makes sense, they're gonna own that, but they don't have the embedded person on their team who understands how things work from an IT perspective. How do these systems connect up? How can we make sure these data points get there? And also, frankly, call out vendors who don't have the APIs and other connection points that are needed to be able to create a workflow that is end-to-end. And to do that, you need someone embedded on your team who understands the stuff, who's well-versed in IT, and instead it's just super fragmented. And so this leads to analysis paralysis. People are afraid to make the wrong decision. People end up going with vendors that they already know because there's a trust there, even if the vendors aren't really set up to deliver what needs to be delivered from a 3D perspective. So I think there's a bunch of different things at play, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on that comment in particular.